Stack the deck in your favor. Environment matters. Meet for drinks is your highest rate close rate by far. There's no question other than her coming over to your apartment directly. But if you're talking about having to go out and close, meeting for drinks will give you your highest return on investment. Dinner is a boyfriend expectation, even if you want fast sex. Afternoon coffee can work, but it's more challenging. And an ice cream date or going for a walk, it is an uphill battle from the beginning. Again, there are going to be exceptions. There is always going to be the dude that is able to go pick her up in his car. He drives her around the block 2 times. Then he parks and fucks her in front of her house. That's his system. The likelihood of that being your system are not good. So you have to realize that the exceptions, if we're talking about you're kind of new to this or you're intermediate and you're not getting the results you want, I want to suggest to you the best environments that you can close consistently. And we found, and we'll cover this a little bit later today, because alcohol is sex fuel, at least in the US. Stack the deck in your favor. You want to put her into an environment that is sexy, that tends to move the girl from stranger to naked and in your bed. So you got to start somewhere. And again, if you meet for drinks, it has the highest close rate by far. And we've noticed this over time too. The later you meet up, the higher chance of you closing with sex is. That's why some of these guys get so lackadaisical. They're like, why don't you meet me at 11 o'clock for such and such? And that's the first date. And she's like, I don't think so. Because she knows. It's almost like too overly forward. It's almost like, hey, why don't we just meet up and fuck? And if she's not, she's on board, because she's going to meet up with you, but she needs to kind of like be talked into it to a certain extent. You're going to have to meet earlier. So just know though, anytime you meet, you want dark, you want cool, you want sexy. Again, that's lounges, bars, clubs, nothing too crazy, because you want to be able to talk and move her from stranger to in your bed. Meet for drinks will be your highest close rate, period. Dinner, there's some guys that have mastered this. I don't recommend it. There's all kinds of reasons it's a terrible idea. Most of all, because if you show up and it's a first date and she doesn't look like her pictures, or she doesn't look like someone you would ever want to invest your time in, and I mean even an hour, it's harder to just turn around and walk out, although people have done it. But it's kind of cold-blooded. If you're just meeting for drinks, you can have a drink, get to, chat it up, then bail. But with dinner, you're kind of stuck. And again, for a lot of girls, these guys are always, paranoid about being used for their $30 dinner. You don't have to worry about being used if you never do dinner. You just go out for drinks, and if 1 or 2 drinks and she's not that interesting, you can move on. Again, it's a smaller investment. Dinner, no one, and like Bunny and I say, the bottom line is a date is about moving girls towards sex. And girls do not like fucking on a full stomach. They're bloated, they feel fat, they feel nasty, they don't feel good, their belly's hanging out. Girls don't like fucking on a full stomach. So you don't take them out to dinner. That should be your rule. Afternoon coffee can work. Some guys that are smooth, and especially if you're dealing with like girls that are alcoholics and they can't drink anymore, afternoon coffee can work. And girls kind of like know it's the deal. But again, you're not able to leverage that alcohol as sex fuel. But afternoon coffee can work if you have some skills. But otherwise, you're working on luck, timing. She just went through a breakup, so she's fucking everyone. Or your skills, which some guys can do this. They meet up with a girl for afternoon coffee. It's 2 p.m. They go for a walk, and he fucks her in the car. It happens all the time. Again, if you can build a system like that, and you'll get good at picking the girls that'll sign off on this as you move forward. An ice cream date is just a bad idea. I don't know of anybody that's had a lot of a lot of success with. I'm sure there's some player out there closing daily at Baskin and Robbins or at some ice cream store. Hell, he probably owns it, but it's not a good idea for you. You want to go late, dark, alcohol, close, and that's the real deal. Stack the deck in your favor. A lot of these guys, you got to remember, just the fact that you're looking at this and thinking about this and talking about it, you're in the 1%, because 99% of dudes show up with no idea. They take her to Chili's, then they drive around, or they take her to Chili's and then go to a movie. And it's just, they don't know. Or they'll show up, and men that should know better will go, "What do you want to do?" And she's like, "Well, I know what I won't be doing, which is fucking you today." So you have to stack the deck in your favor. The environment matters, and it's little things. And again, you have to make it look effortless. But if you take 10 minutes and think about this and kind of like make plans, your close rate will skyrocket, because you think about all the way from picking her up or meeting her to putting her into an Uber. Logistics matter. You talk to any PUA that stops people on the street, true like pickup artists, they have logistics down. They know where their first spot is. They know where their second spot is. They know where they can have some privacy. They know their territory like a spy. So the better you stack the deck in your favor, the more girls you're going to close, the more fun you're going to have, the better the girls will enjoy it. There's no downside. That's a real deal with stacking the deck in your favor. If you guys have any questions, by all means, put them in the comment box.